The call to the member for Bennelong.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Aged Care. How is the Albanese Labor government responding to the horrific findings of the Aged Care Royal Commission report and rebuilding the workforce to ensure some of our most vulnerable Australians are receiving the high-quality care they deserve after a decade of cuts and neglect?
The call to the Minister for Aged Care and Sport.
I thank the member for Bennelong for his question and acknowledge his continued and ongoing advocacy both for the aged care workers that he represents and for the residents that they care for. Mr Speaker, in 2 weeks it will be the 3rd anniversary of the Royal Commission into the Aged Care Quality and Safety's final report, a 2021 documentation of disaster, a blunt black and white description of failure, a report that described the aged care system under the Coalition's lead as a shocking tale of neglect and one which was unkind and uncaring. And among the many dark themes that were to emerge was that workers were systematically underpaid and undervalued, that low wages and poor employment conditions meant that the sector struggled to attract and retain well-skilled people. And that, in turn, led to unacceptable staffing levels that created substandard care. Mr Speaker, on day one of cleaning up their mess of restoring dignity following 9 years of neglect, the Albanese government got to work to make sure that aged care staff were valued again. And we have delivered. We have delivered an $11.3 billion increase to minimum award rates for more than 250,000 workers across our country, the biggest pay rise for this sector ever. A funding package that is 10 times more than the previous government's investment in their workforce pillar. And now we are providing even more cost of living relief and even more value. From 1 July, Labor's tax cuts will also deliver these registered nurses in aged care a $1,679 tax cut, almost double what they would have received under the Coalition. 97% of aged care workers, Mr Speaker, from personal care workers to lifestyle to kitchen hands to nurses, will be better off under Labor's tax cuts. This cost of living relief will help close the gender pay gap, as the aged care workforce is more than 85% female. Our reforms have also seen a reduction in the number of pressure injuries, a reduction in the number of physical restraints and significant unplanned weight loss, and improvements in star ratings data with fewer 1- and 2-star rated facilities and more 4- and 5-star rated facilities. Mr Speaker, change happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making a change, and yet those opposite refused to acknowledge the pain that they were causing workers. And while our government recognised the need to change, recognised that we can do more to help, and that's the key difference between them and us, Mr Speaker. They provide platitudes, we provided pay rises. And now Australian taxpayers do not want more of the Coalition's chaos and cost of living confusion.
Order.
They want stronger, fairer wages for their hard work.
Concluded.